Buddy, and welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings and the Ball Talk with Holy Savior Menard Central High School. Softball will start us off from 7 p.m. to 7:30, and then we'll have the baseball team come in and take over with Danny Clear and Nick Magnano and Jordan Marks, and they'll talk baseball from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. But here, I've got head coach Thomas Scully. I've got assistant coach Julio Ortiz, and we've got the intern, Sophia Scully, that joined us during basketball, and she's going to join us for basketball season as well. Welcome, everybody, to the Ball Talk in softball, that is, for the Coaches Show. First time for a Coaches Show.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Are you guys?
We're excited. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I can see it all over your face, Coach Scully. Let's talk a little bit about softball. Of course, 2024 season, and we've got a couple of still photos because we have yet to be able to cover a game here for 446 Sports. Hopefully get after it this week, if not next week, because it's all kinds of schedule changes happening all over the place. But talk a little bit about this softball team for the 2024 group.
Well, we come into the 2024 season coming off of a quarterfinal loss to Calvary back in 23, and so this year we'll have one senior, Emily DeSalle, with two juniors, Sophie Giordano and Amelie Lyons, and then we've got a couple of sophomores, some freshmen, 8th graders, and we have two 7th graders that we're carrying on our roster. And then, as far as coaches, Coach Julio Ortiz, who's been with me for this is our 6th year there, here at Menard, so he's been with me. And then we brought Coach Laney Smith on last year as the pitching coach, and then KK Gallagher, who is a former player of ours. She actually coaches the head coach of the junior high, and then this will be her 2nd year as well, helping us on the high school staff. So great staff that we have, a group of young girls. We have a 14 total, or 15, and so just trying to prepare for the season, and it's early, and got 6 of the 15, I think, playing basketball. So that's been a juggling act up to this point, and I know we'll get into that as well. But very blessed to have the group that we have as far as coaches, and we we're early into the season. We'll get to that as well, but I think we're going to be fine along the way.
Well, and you kind of transitioned into the girls that are playing basketball, and we might as well talk about it now when it comes to basketball, because the team is headed down. We covered them all the way through the quarterfinals, and they made the Final Four for the 2nd year in a row, and they're actually in Hammond tonight, if I'm not mistaken, getting ready for a game tomorrow night. But you have 6 players for your softball team that are also on the basketball team. How difficult has that been this year, so far this season, in dealing with games and your softball games and basketball games trying to happen in the same week?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, just their prep, their time of practice. As far as getting them there, Coach Sanders and I have worked really well together as far as juggling schedules. But them to just get the actual practice time has been the challenge for them. So, we're a little bit behind on that. Of course, Kaylee Mevin, our starting pitcher, she's on the team. Emma Davis, who's our leadoff right now and starts at 2nd. She's on the team. Addie Wright, who's our starting first baseman and bats in our 4 and 5 hole. She's on the team. Abby Claire Fingleton, she's been starting a little bit for us in left field. She's on the team. Season Fiescanera, who's eligible this year, she's our right fielder and our 9-hole hitter. And then, of course, Sawyer, who's actually has not stepped on the softball field because she's trying to recover from an injury that happened, but she's able to play basketball. So, and she's our center fielder, and she's also a starter. So right now we have, all of them are starters at some point. So, it's just been a juggling act. But the biggest thing is, Coach Julio handles all the hitting. So the biggest thing for us has been them spending the time in the cages. And we'll get them maybe once or twice a week, but, we don't get them like we normally do. So that's been the biggest challenge, is getting them in those cages and getting them on that field for that defensive work.
Well, this is kind of a question for both you and Coach Ortiz, but Sawyer Shelton, we see her playing basketball, as you said, with a knee brace on. She kind of suffered that injury during softball season, if I'm not toward the end of the season, right? How does that affect her? I mean, have you seen in terms of being able to hit? I mean, she had a couple of inside the park home runs that were huge for the team last year. Is she still having trouble rotating that knee, or?
Well, unfortunately, it's been an injury to her knee, and obviously she needs that to be able to hit. She's been pretty limited what she can do, but she has worked on occasions off the tee, just kind of working her back in little by little, assuming that she'll be healthy to roll by the time midseason rolls around.
So she's not going to be able to step in right away. It's going to be a work in progress trying to get her ready mid to late season?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And, Coach, you talked about just the one senior, Emily DeSalle. You had two seniors on your team last year, and one of them is gone at LSUA, but she's not really gone, is she? Still living in your house.
Oh, yeah.
But she's going to be back on the air and being able to cover some games. Sophia, is here. Sophia, you got any questions for your dad in this first segment?
I think you covered it.
You ever seen her not have anything to say?
No, not at all.
It's definitely a first.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about, real quick, the summer workouts. We have a picture of you guys working in the summertime and getting prepared. And then you had some folks come in and work with the team?
Yeah, we did. Harley Ryder, who unfortunately passed away earlier late last year. Harley actually did some summer workouts. He was coming once or twice a week, and he would actually get in the weight room with them and worked on their speed and agility. And then he also was able to get them to work on a lot of their stretching, flexibility. And Coach Laney handled all of that stuff during the summer because Coach and I were in the football deal, and then in the fall as well through August. They did that workout as well. But I thought our off-season program went really, really well for the girls that were there. And you could tell some of them put in some really hard work and they worked their tails off. And you're always going to have some that are going to be limited in what they can do. And adjusting to that type of program and that rigor that he put them through. Definitely something that has always been needed. But, of course, you're limited because we've got junior high kids, and then we've also got high school kids, and we got basketball. So, there was a lot of rolling around and people kind of hit and miss in the weight room. So, but Coach Sanders and them do a weight workout as well, weight program as well. So they were able to stay on that same program, just a different coach.
Well, and then we talk a little bit about it. Maybe both you and Coach Ortiz talk a little bit about gelling this team together. I mean, when it comes to championship teams and teams that win districts, they have to really play together and mesh together. I mean, a lot of these girls played together last year, but y'all do some things off the field that can help out, plus also kind of show them what it's like to volunteer in the community. What are some of the volunteer things that y'all did, this year, earlier in the season, or earlier this year?
Y'all fed somebody.
Y'all kind of went together with the baseball team, didn't you?
Yeah.
To the food bank?
Went to the food bank.
That's what it was.
They also went, I can't remember the place, when they volunteered at
What
the
was the name of
nursing
the place,
home.
Sophia?
It was a nursing home they volunteered at.
The nursing home.
Guys, I'm no longer on this team, so
think it was
that is on y'all.
I don't remember.
We did go to a nursing home, and I know Coach Laney actually took them.
Right.
And then we took them to the food bank, and with the baseball team. I took them to the food bank with the baseball team, and we did some community service with them as well.
How important is that for you to be able to share that and get them involved in the community?
Well, that's something that we've always made a preference that our team do that and hold them. That's part of our program. That's part of our standards. That's part of what they're required to do. We've always been a part of that, and we've always instilled that in them to make sure that happens and give back to the community, because the community gives so much back to our program and to our school community. So that's always been something that's been really, really big for us, and it gives us an opportunity to bond and gets us outside of school. It's always very important when we can give back to the community.
All right, well, we've got another segment, couple of segments coming up. We're going to get into the season and talk a little bit about the games that have been played so far. I think it's about 8 total games that have been played. We'll cover that. And then we have a special segment that Sophia is going to have with the arts department at Menard, and that'll bridge us between softball and baseball. You are watching the Coach Ball Talk. HSM Lady Eagle Ball Talk with 446 Sports here at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Time for our red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems? Go where you know. Certified Transmission.
Wings live on 446 Sports with Ball Talk. Holy Savior Menard Central High School style, and it's softball. The first half of this 7 o'clock hour is dedicated to the softball team with head coach Thomas Scully. And we have a new face. Coach Ortiz has gone back out into the crowd and taken them out to nursing Coach Smith. And
For softball and baseball to let everybody know what's going on.
That's right. We got a great crowd. You can hear them in the background. A lot of Eagle fans have come out, and we've got the theater group here too that they're going to talk about Newsies coming up. But Coach Smith, tell us a little bit about. We were talking about trying to bring the team together, give them some things to kind of have them bond as a team, because every team's different from year to year.
Right.
Even though some of the same players are on the team, it can still be a different experience. And they talked about going to the food bank, but you actually took them to a nursing home.
Yes, I took them to Naomi Heights during the fall. Actually, for Christmas, we went to do their Christmas tea party, and it was a great time. The girls enjoyed being able to go and spend time with the residents there, and the residents really loved it. I think it's something that I want to bring in be a regular thing that we do. It's not. It's good for them, but it's also good for the residents too. And I think it's important to teach them to be able to go into the community and do things outside of softball.
Yeah, definitely. And something like that, you've got a lot of elderly folks that are in the home that maybe don't have families that are coming in to see them. And to have these kids, be able to go in there and bring some joy, especially at Christmas time, which is a time that a lot of people can be, have sadness, especially if there's no family coming to visit them.
Right.
So kudos and congratulations for that. And I saw the pictures on Facebook. And I couldn't find them trying to get them here to get it to get that still photo up. But thanks for doing that.
Well, softball and I actually went with 6 of the baseball seniors, and the baseball guys, they did an amazing job. They put on a little skit, and I think that was one of the highlights of the trip were the baseball guys. So I thank them for coming with us. Yeah,
and great job for the baseball team. That both of y'all went together to the food bank as well.
Yep.
So hey. Who knew that was foreshadowing that we do our coaches show with a combination of softball and baseball as well? So great job. Now, we talk about sadness a little bit. Talk about the season so far, Coach. It hadn't really gone the way that you hoped it had started out, but it's only the beginning.
Yeah.
And there's still district play. There's still a lot in front. The girls haven't really all come together yet, have they?
They haven't, and that's always a challenge. Normally, in the beginning of the year, we struggle with the games and adjusting and all that. But our biggest struggle up to this point is having everybody on the field at the same time, having everybody at practice every day. So that's been a big challenge. We started out against Grant on a Tuesday, which was Grant 10-6, and then turn around and we lost to Winfield on that Friday 10-5. And it just kind of showed a little bit. We had a little fight at Winfield. We came back a little bit. And I thought we played well against Grant as well. Had an opportunity to win both of those games. As you could tell, just making errors, people not doing the right thing, not being in the right place. And that comes with that chemistry when you're not on the field together every day. And then over that weekend, we lose on that Friday. And then 24 hours later, we turn around and we get a 22-3 win against Bunkie. And then we end up beating Pine Prairie in a 7-1 ball game later that night. So, by the end of the first week, we were 2-2, felt very good about our situation. And then we went on down to Sulphur. And go ahead.
Before we get to Sulphur, talk a little bit about that weekend with Bunkie and Pine Prairie, because I think that was the first time that I was able to do a live stream for y'all, was that weekend round robin last year,
right?
With Bunkie and Pine Prairie being the opponents, and Pine Prairie, slouch, right?
If you remember last year,
are they back this year?
We went 9 innings with them last year, and we had a walk-off home run in the park from Sawyer Shelton. So to be able to come out and beat them in the earlier part of the season, especially when we're not, we haven't had a practice all together very much, that speaks volume. But like Coach said, we've got to piece a few things together before we go any further.
And you made something, and we'll continue on, but you had talked a little bit about, I think it was before we actually came on the air, that you're very happy with the way the pitching is going this year. On the field, they're still trying to get together and not make errors and be in the right spots and do the right things. But you got Kaylee Methvin back. She was just a freshman last year, and I thought did a great job as a freshman. You got that year of season, for her, and how's she doing so far?
I spoke with her the other day after she pitched 14 innings last weekend. Both games she pitched, and she was just lights out. I told her how proud I was of her, and I couldn't ask for a better performance from her. And Emily DeSalle has been stepping up whenever I need her to. So both of my pitchers, and Sophie Giordano, she comes in whenever she needs to, and she gets it done. So I have no complaint from my pitchers.
See, you're a natural at this because you already answered the question that I was going to follow up with. It's great to have a great pitcher, but you got to have depth.
Right.
Especially as you get into the season. And so that was going to be my next question. So you have, and Emily, and a little bit last year, but not much. But I don't remember seeing Sophie get on the mound last year. Maybe once, or
yeah, we used her a lot in JV. But the thing with pitching is Kaylee's gonna throw. You have Emily DeSalle that spins the ball pretty well on the outside corner with a curveball, and then you've got Sophie that's a little bit slower. It's good to have the definition of the three different pitchers. Emily throws a little different, so to the mound.
So as I've been going through the basketball season with the girls basketball team, kind of going on Facebook and looking, at outcomes and seeing we were 2-2 coming off of that weekend. I saw the big win against Bunkie, and then you turn around and beat Pine Prairie, and you're going into week 2. And that's where you were headed.
Yeah.
You went down had to go to Sulphur?
We went down to Sulphur, and I thought we were going to. Game that we've played, we've been into the game. We've just not been able to make the plays. Like our pitchers, they're going to get the outs that we need, and we've got 2 outs, and then we make an error, and then the next thing you know, they score 4 or 5 instead of scoring none, and then we get behind in the game. Like Sulphur, we go down to Sulphur, struck out over 10 times, and then they beat us 9-0, and we were in the game the entire game. They score 1, and then we get out of an inning, and then we just couldn't get out of our way, and that's really a lot of what we're running into. Can't get ourselves out of our own way sometimes, and then we go down to Beauregard. We got South Beauregard came to our place, and South Beauregard has really been good. They beat us pretty bad last year, and we were able to get a win at home on Thursday, which was a big win. We were up 12-3, and they ended up making a little run in the top of the 7th, and so it ended up being a 12-9 win. So we're back at 500, and we feel really good. We say, hey, here we go. We're going into the weekend. Sitting
at 3-3. Emily DeSalle comes through with a big blast. I was shocked when I was looking through. That's her only home run on the year so far. And we got some still shots of not only Emily, but the team photo at the very end. Lainey, you do a great. Is that you taking those pictures?
Yes, it is.
And posting them on Facebook? Great job to be able to get that out on social media to see that. But last year Emily was cranking them out. Yep. Sometimes 2 home runs in a game. But are they just pitching her different?
Sure.
Right now?
Yeah, they are pitching around her, and as an only senior, we've talked about this. It's a different pressure. We've got her in a circle in almost every game. She has started, and then Kaylee's come in, or in some like Kaylee threw last week in the entire weekend, all 14 innings, and then so this weekend Emily threw a little bit more than we wanted her to, but she felt better in the circle. So there's a different pressure, but they are pitching her a little bit different, and it's early, and it's all about timing, and I think it'll all come around. And I think last year we were in the same situation where she didn't really catch fire until midway through, and that's where I think we're going to be fine. We're in week 2. We ended the weekend with 2 losses against Montgomery and against Quitman on Friday and Saturday in Pineville's tournament. So we're 3-5 now. And depending on what the basketball team does tomorrow night will depend on if we play Wednesday, and then if they win Monday, we'll have to move our game Friday to Saturday. So, all we're wanting to do is get basketball to get to that final, win the trophy, bring back home that trophy, and then we'll worry about softball after this week. But right now, that's kind of been our focus as 2 programs together, using the same athletes, and that's just part of being at a small school, and that's part of being a community school. So, we're going to figure it out.
And last question, Lainey, for this segment, when you look at the score, 11-0, 16-0, people might look at it and go, man, they maybe smack that ball around a lot. How do you work with Kaylee, to not get frustrated and lose confidence on the mound?
I was a pitcher in high school, so I tell her all the time that I can relate to how she's feeling. And I know it can be frustrating when sometimes your team's not making the plays behind you. But I tell her all the time she has to stay composed. She has to stay within herself. She's the one that touches the ball before every play. And that the game's goes at her speed to slow down, breathe. And I know that's hard sometimes, but I stay on her to compete no matter what. That's been my biggest since I got here, was that my pitchers compete. Every pitch, every out, every batter. Every batter is different. So, second time around in a lineup, we know a batter, and I'm constantly communicating with her. This is what we need to do for this batter. stay low in the zone, switch it up. But competing is definitely something that I'm always pushing.
All right. Well, thank you for this segment. Look forward to the weeks to come on Sunday night at 7 o'clock, and we'll have our first two segments talking about the Lady Eagles softball team, and then Sophia will have the little bridge segment with something else that's going on with Menard. We'll be back with that bridge segment right after this. You're watching Ball Talk Eagle style at Buffalo Wild Wings on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure.
Cool summer event at Southern.
A little bit about the show.
From compared to last year, we've had a little bit of less time to work on it, but it's still really good, and so you should go watch it.
How's your preparation been?
It's been really good, honestly. I feel like we had a late start, but I feel like we've really gotten a grasp on it, and we've been really pushing through, and we've all put in a lot of effort, and and where we are now, we're just really moving forward, and I think it's going to be great.
Okay, so the theater class that you were talking about, that's new, right?
It is. It's new this year, and it's a collaboration class between the two of us, and we just got permission to do it together, and it's been great. And also help out with the music ministry, which has been a big boost to our spirituality here at Holy St. Menard. But the show, third at Coughlin Saunders, and we'd love to have everybody in the community come see the show, see the kids. Again, we've got an amazing talent at school, and just come see us. We have a show Friday at 7 p.m. Coughlin Saunders. Next one was when? Show times.
Saturday?
Saturday at 7 p.m. and also a matinee at 2:30 p.m.
Okay, guys. Well, any last closing remarks? What are you most excited for?
I'm really excited for our first show, which is an 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock a 9 o'clock show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
really excited for the kids. Yeah. So I hope that's a really good start for our play.
Right. What about you, Aubrey?
I'm just I've been so excited growing closer to these people. Honestly, the friendship, it really makes us, and the way that we all kind of act as a family, it brings the show together 100%.
That is awesome. Ms. Booth, what are you most excited for? Everyone, they said the times, and I think we'll have the times posted. So thank y'all for coming out, and hopefully we'll watch an amazing show. I do in a minute with baseball at Buffalo Wild Wings.
All right. Thank you.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuable
And we're back to Buffalo Wild Wings here in Alexandria, Louisiana for Around the Diamond with Coach Jordan Marks. My name's Nick Magnano. I have Danny Clear with me and obviously the man of the moment, Coach Marks. Coach Marks, welcome in. We appreciate you giving us the time. I know it's been a pretty rough week, but you know, the Lord gives us Sundays to open up the week, and we get to go worship, we get to recharge, and hey, this is a new week. So let's get a little recap of what the week was like for you guys, and then we'll go from there.
Tuesday we lost in North DeSoto, had 10 strikeouts. Thought we pitched it well, thought we played good defense. Just wasn't our night. Worked on that Wednesday and Thursday and headed down to St. Louis for a 3-game set on Friday and Saturday. And I thought we hit the ball well. I was pleased with our plate appearances. We barreled a bunch of baseballs. Pitching did tremendously well. Our defense let us down, which is something that's fixable. It's real early in the season. These guys know the expectations that they have going into the year. You know, 8 starters, losing 1 last year. They feel the pressure, and you know, overall, we're not near where we want to be, but it's early, and I'd rather get all these hiccups out of the way early than come April and have to deal with stuff like this. But everything we're doing is fixable. The guys know what they need to do. They're working hard every day, and I think eventually we'll get it fixed.
Yeah, and let's talk about the positives. We have Cooper, who started 2 of the 4 games this week, pitched 10, great innings. Unfortunately, had 2 no decisions in those 2 games, but that's a positive. And then Danny pointed out that Drake, what was Drake's week like?
Go ahead, Coach. We just noticed, he's seeing the ball pretty well right now, but go ahead and let's talk about the hitting.
So Drake at St. Louis, I think he was 8 for 14 over the past 2 years. That's a series we have every year. It's a real good series. St. Louis Catholic is always a good opponent. And Drake just always has their number and shows up. The last 2 years, like I said, he's probably hitting 600 in that series. And he sees the ball well, and for some reason he has St. Louis's number.
Well, looking at the stats, it looked like we talked about on Monday or Tuesday when you played. We had 3 hits, I think. 3 hit against North DeSoto, and you come out and swung the bat a little bit better against St. Louis. Mm-hmm. Y'all worked on that in practice, and looks like it paid off for at least for offensively.
Sure. Cooper, going back to Cooper, what you said, Nick, Cooper's been throwing for us since he was a freshman. He had a really good freshman year on the mound. His sophomore year was good. He throws us quality innings. We know what we're going to get from him. He pounds the zone, and keeps hitters off balance with his fastball and his slider. And he's had a good week. We look forward to having a good week for him next week. And LaRue threw a little bit on the back end of that North DeSoto game, which is a role he doesn't usually throw. He's a starter for us and threw really, really well for us last year, and things out of him this year.
Hey, let's talk about playing a 3-game series this early against a St. Louis. What's the rationale there? Why do you guys do that?
So the playoffs is a 3-game set. And so I like to throw one of those in there a year. In the past, we've played a couple. They're a really good, they're similar to us. They graduated a lot of seniors last year. They're a Catholic school. Believe it or not, they had 11 and very athletic ball club. The guy we faced in Game 3 was 86, 87 and bumped it up to 88. He's an LSU commit. And you mentioned Carter had a home run in that game, Game 3, turned on one. And like I said, I want to get them battle tested early. I want us to see everything we could possibly see before playoff time comes.
Well, you have 14. You have 14 seniors. Okay, we know you lost Cody Lyons in football. Okay, we also know that you lost Carter Marcantel in the fall. Okay, but it was good to have him come back. So, like you said, the solo home run he had in the third game of that series. Then also he's getting playing time in left field. So let's talk about Carter and his recovery.
So Carter just got released probably a week and a half ago. We kind of threw him in there in left field. His arm's not near where it needs to be, which is expected. I mean, he just got released, like I said, a week and a half ago. So he's probably going to primarily DH for the next month or so until we can get him in shape and throwing the baseball and recovering from that labrum surgery.
Yeah, and then also your Mike Henry. Mike Henry getting some time on the mound. Is Mike one of your probably number 3 right now, or do you still kind of up in there?
So Mike threw really, really, really well for us. I don't think he threw 4 innings, didn't walk anybody in game 1, and gave us a shot to win that ball game. However, defense didn't show up for us right there. The wind was blowing. I'm not making excuses or anything like that. We just made some costly errors, but Mike threw really well. Mike was our guy last year when we needed a save to come in and shut the door, and he did really well. I expect big things out of Mike Henry this year.
So we talked about, Lee, you're not playing your best baseball right now, which is unfortunate with the losses, but you also know that those things are fixable. Those things can be corrected. Guys out of their own head. What are some of the things that you do to try to get the guys to play a little more free, a little more loose?
Well, we talk a lot about, wanting to win and the willing to win. The sacrifices you got to put in for the will to win is what we preach on pretty hard. These guys know it. I mean, they're seniors. They've been playing for a couple of years, a lot of them. Been 3-year starters for us, if not 4-year starters for us. They know exactly what needs to be done, and sooner than later we're going to put it together and turn out to be a really tough ball club to beat later on.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the Soda game. Okay, talking about Cooper getting that start. Okay, pitched 4 innings. Gave up 1 unearned run. Unfortunately, got the no decision. Okay, that game you guys had 10 strikeouts. You talked about that, and seeing the difference going into after the 3-game series. So you guys were hitting the ball. You guys were at least putting the ball in play in this series.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. We barreled a lot of baseballs. We had base hits. Faced a really good staff from St. Louis Catholic. Like I said earlier, those guys were in the semifinals last year in Sulphur and Division II Select, which is a good division. And said it's early. Cooper talked last week after the North Dakota game how, it's early. They're still trying to find their timing and they're how to go through a plate appearance and it'll come around. Hitting something that we're gonna rely on this year, and like I said, when you got 14 seniors, you expect us to hit the ball really well and to be in every situation that we can. So.
Yeah, so we're gonna here in a few minutes we're gonna talk about with those 2 seniors. We're gonna meet with Cohen LaRue and we're gonna meet with Drake Aldridge. What did those 2 guys mean to you before we visit with them?
2 years in a row, Drake's been our unanimous team captain. I do a vote at the end of the year for everybody to vote on a team captain, and 2 years in a row, his sophomore and his junior year, he's been unanimous on team captain. He's a big leader. Cohen's a bulldog on the mound for us. He also plays middle infield, hits in the middle of the lineup last year. He stepped up. The team's behind him on the mound. The team's behind Drake. They listen to what Drake has to say. He's a vocal leader, where a lot of guys kind of, lead by example. Drake's more of the vocal leader for this ball club. And like I said, Cohen does some really good things on the mound for us, and we expect the same this year.
Excellent, Coach. We're about to go to break. We're gonna, when we come back from break, we're gonna talk to Cohen LaRue and we're gonna talk to Drake Aldridge. You're listening to Round the Diamond with Coach Marks on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
At Buffalo Wild Wings here in Alexandria, Louisiana, and we're now visiting with Cohen LaRue and Drake Aldridge, two seniors, been playing baseball for Menard for 4 years. All right, serious question. Most important question I have. Okay, one meal to eat right now. What you got?
Panda Express.
Panda Express. Oh, wow, man. But your dad's cooking, and that's what you have?
Double
Panda
lunch
Express?
chicken.
He always shows up to the baseball field with it.
And how about you, Drake?
Me, mine would probably be Wingstop.
Jeez, man. That's easy, man.
We're hoping Buffalo Wild Wings changes that.
Yes, that's right. That's right. We're definitely, by the time the 13th, 14th senior comes, maybe it'll be Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's right.
So look, hey, favorite moment. Like I told you, I'm going to have the hard-hitting questions. Danny's going to hit us with the baseball stuff. Favorite moment so far in Menard baseball career, Cohen?
Definitely have to be the Pope John Paul second game win.
Okay.
Beat him 1-0.
And that was to go to
Sulphur.
So you went. That was a semifinal, and we talked about it. And Coach Marks was telling us, Coach Jordan was telling us, the 3-game series. So you guys, first two, and you went to Sulphur. Excellent. Drake, how about you?
Mine's probably going to be
baseball, not football. I know there's probably some football ones too.
Mine's probably going to be when we beat Notre Dame in the semifinals last year.
Hey, that's a good one. So, all right, college.
I'm going to Centenary.
Okay.
In Shreveport.
Plan on playing ball?
Yes, sir.
You going to pitch? You going to be you going to do combo? You going to pitch? What you going to do?
Mainly pitch, but I guess we'll figure that out there.
Gotcha. Drake?
I'm going to LCU, baby.
What you got, Danny?
So, Drake, we'll start with you right now. Seems like you're seeing the ball pretty well. What's your approach when you go up to the plate?
When I'm going up there, I don't think about anything. I'm just basing.
See ball, hit ball.
That's literally it.
You looking for anything in particular, or are you just
outside?
Outside, you like to drive it the other way?
Yes, I was a predominantly pull hitter like my whole career. But
okay.
I changed that all this year.
Okay. All right. Cohen, what about you? You're a little tough luck so far. We won't get into it, but it's for the team. What do you go back to the dugout? We're trying to pick the guys up. What do you? Are you the vocal guy that goes up and says, "Hey guys, sorry, shake it off, let's go"?
I try to be the most, but when you're making the errors like I've been, it's
self-inflicted.
It's
all right. It's all right. I saw you hit the ball pretty well this weekend too. What changed from you from seeing the ball better from Tuesday to the weekend?
Just a lot of hack attack.
A lot of
see the ball, go oppo, stay through it.
Okay. All right. And how playing when you're not pitching, you're playing second base right now. Played a little shortstop too. Okay. How's that transition between short and second for you?
It's really just more of a throw thing because from second I have to baby it a lot.
Yeah.
I guess that Drake knows that struggle with me.
He's not killing you over there?
No, sir, it's not too bad. I mean, I played with him since I was 8, so I have a good idea where he's going to throw me.
Gotcha.
Hey guys, how much do you guys get in the cage? The last question before we go to break. In a week's time, how many hours are you in the cage?
Every day.
Well, how many hours you think? An hour a day?
Probably
at least an hour a day.
Two to three a day.
I got you. Okay, and for you, how much are you on the mound during the week?
During the week, I try to stay off the mound if I'm not pitching.
Okay.
Now off season, I'm all the time throwing 20, 30 pitches a day.
Okay. All right, well, man, we appreciate you guys. Great thing about having ball players on is you get the honest answers, so appreciate you guys. Look forward to watching you and calling the stuff. You're watching Menard Eagle Baseball and 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems? Go where you know. Certified Transmission.
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings for Around the Diamond with Coach Jordan Marks. Hey, Coach, we're going to talk about this week. Let's put last week behind us. Let's talk about this week. You have Barb starting off. What you want to say about that game?
Well, Barb called us last year. We had over 25 wins last year in the regular season, and they wanted to play somebody with some wins, I guess, for the PowerPoint rankings. And we watched them play. I mean, Barb, everybody knows Barb. They're a good team. I just hope we come out, and I think if we play the baseball we're capable of playing, I think it gives us a shot to win.
So power points on that one, you were talking about their play-up points?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The multiplier for playing up, right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So how does scheduling now with the power rankings, how does that affect your scheduling?
It doesn't affect mine at all. I don't too much particularly care about PowerPoints. Like I said earlier, I like to play really good teams early, challenge my guys, see what we need to work on before we get into district time and playoff time. But as far as PowerPoints and scheduling for me personally, that's not something I look at.
Coach, and let's go ahead and move into the weekend, which will start Thursday. We have the Terry Matthews tournament coming up. Let's talk about the teams you're going to play first, and then we'll talk about Terry and the relationship you had with Terry. Let's talk about the teams.
Thursday night, we got Ash at our place at 7 o'clock. Ash is a crosstown rivalry school and really good ball club. I don't know if they've lost this year yet. Then on Saturday, we have Buckeye, which they had over 25 wins last year, and I don't think they lost many players last year. I think they returned everybody. I know they might have been missing some basketball guys. And then after Buckeye, we got Pineville on Saturday. So 3 tough games, but I think we're ready for the challenge.
I know we've reached out to some people. The family's going to be here. Terry's family's going to be here. His son Marcus is going to be on a broadcast with us. We've also reached out to some former players, some of your teammates that are going to be on. And then we also have our own Tom Boucher, who has 2 wonderful stories about when he played against Terry. And that's going to be, I'm not going to spoil them, but those are going to be good stories. Chuck has some stories about him. One of our sponsors, one of our advertisers, Jason Tarver, is going to speak. But tell us what your relationship with Terry, because I know that you knew him very well.
So I knew him very well, and this past Saturday on the 24th was the anniversary of his death.
Oh, wow.
So it's perfect timing for the tournament. That family has been so close to me since I was a young kid. I actually worked for Terry in the summer times when he had the pool business. Of course, he was my mentor, my baseball coach. I got a ton of stories. Maybe I'll get on the mic after the game Thursday night or beforehand, and with Marcus, and we'll rehash some stories back in the day. But I was pallbearer in the funeral. Terry was super close to me. The family's still close to me. I love Emily and Marcus and Molly and Megan, the kids and everybody. So they're good. They mean a lot to me, and I just wanted to do this tournament for them.
What years did you play for him? When was the time period he was here?
So that was me. That was 03 to 07.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Marcus is he's a little younger than you.
So
or?
when I was a senior, Marcus was a freshman.
Okay.
Yeah. But like I said, we worked together in the summertime
Right.
when they had the pool company, and me and Marcus became, great friends like brothers. I was at Terry's house probably 6 out of 7 days of the week. So.
And then the ceremony between the first game on Thursday and then our game against Ash. Okay, there's going to be a ceremony honoring him. Talk about that a little bit.
So I'm going to bring the family on the field. And I got T-shirts made for all 5 teams there. Ash, Menard, Tioga, Pineville, and Buckeye. We got T-shirts made. We're going to do something special for them that the players signed, and we're going to give it to the family, not to spoil anything. But and then we got a write-up we want to talk about him on, and I'll have David Perkins read that, or Chris Gallen, whichever one is available that day. And just I'm going to let Marcus throw out the first pitch. He doesn't know that yet.
Oh, wow.
So
I won't tell him.
I'm going to let Marcus throw out the first pitch, and he's going to be our special guest for today.
That's awesome. So the Thursday night, the games will be at Menard.
Yep.
And then Friday night, they go to
Tioga.
To Tioga.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Saturday, they're back at Menard.
They're at both places.
Oh, at both
Menard.
places.
Yep,
Okay.
And we're off Friday, so we just play Thursday, Saturday. We're going to take Friday off. But there'll be games Friday at Tioga and then also Saturday at Tioga and Menard.
And participating are obviously us, Ash, Buckeye, Tioga, and Pineville. Okay,
Yep.
and that's a great thing. It's a great story. Please come out and watch, especially on Thursday. Support the family. I didn't know Terry personally, but just since I've reached out to a handful of people, the stories I've heard. So on the broadcast, we're gonna try to get you guys on there. we're gonna have you on the camera. We're gonna have you guys. We're gonna have all the plays and everything going on during the Ash game. But there's gonna be a lot of stories talked about with Terry, and we're looking forward to that. Also, going into the weekend. Okay, you're playing at 11 and 1:30. Okay, on Saturday.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yep.
Those 2 games, they're going to be at Menard, just kind of like a double back-to-back, nothing between, right?
That's right. Nothing between on Saturday. Let the family get back to what they need to do with their families on the weekend. But Thursday night in between games is when the ceremony is.
That's the big thing. Danny, you have any?
No, I'm just watching the guys out here be guys. They're good turnout from your guys to come out and support you and their fellow teammates, and hopefully some of this will breed over to some success for this week and going forward for you.
Yeah, it seems like a great group. The thing that's so amazing that I've noticed just talking to them and dealing with them is how much they get together. They get along. Okay, they're like a family. Talking to some of the parents, just mainly them asking us about different things, and the parents are just willing to do anything for us and help us out. Want to thank Chris Nalbanian for giving us the left field perch out there. We have a place there. We're working on a second camera to hopefully get another view. So appreciate you for allowing us to do this, opening up your time. I know it's a Sunday evening. I know you guys were in Lake Charles the whole weekend, and you put a lot of time into this. The guys were telling us that they do about an hour a day in the cage. Is that?
That seems it seems like they do more than that. I had to run them out of the cage before I came over here that they were there. So,
all right, question. Okay. I said 1 meal. Cole LaRue, 1 meal. You know what he said?
What did he say?
Panda Express.
Doesn't surprise me.
Drake Aldridge, 1 meal. Okay. Wingstop. I mean,
we're working on getting the guys expanded a little bit too,
I mean, I'm expecting a big steak, potato, something like that, But no, it's been fun. And look, a great thing about those guys, 100% honest on the radio. 2 great kids that are going to play at the next level. Let me ask you that while we have a minute. How many players have you placed? Just off the top of your head, at the next level.
So this is my 6th year at Menard. I think 18.
Wow.
And of course, that 2020 year was the COVID year.
Right.
And we only played 12 games, and I still I still think we had 4 or 5 guys that year. So since I've been at Menard, I think we've promoted 18 guys to the next level.
That's amazing. Last year, who were your ones that you?
I only lost Prejean last year,
so-
and of course he's throwing at Meridian now, and he's doing really well.
Yeah, I think I looked up some of his stats. He had 12 strikeouts and 6 innings.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball well.
Yeah.
He's throwing the ball well.
Well, Coach, we definitely appreciate the time. Appreciate you opening up your team to us. You're listening to, watching. You're watching Around the Diamond with Coach Jordan Marks.
Hey, I want to thank y'all guys for doing this too. It's great for Menard, great for the community. I appreciate all the time, effort, and hard work y'all put into this as well.
He's Coach Jordan Marks. He's Danny Clear. I'm Nick McNair. I want to thank Doug Gann, our founder. May the Lord bless you and have a good night.